thrilled to be here today. Oops, I could use this, yeah, thanks. I love coming to Thailand. I always find the Thai people so incredibly welcoming and nice, so I'm very pleased to be here, and I'm very excited about the business that we're starting to develop. I want to first start by thanking our partners, TIS and IM Consulting, for providing such an incredible venue today. Every single detail has been covered, including the incredible desserts on your table. So while my colleagues are talking, if you find yourself getting a little sleepy, just have some of those sugary desserts and you'll be fine. So I was talking to my colleague, Carl Wagner, who runs Asia for R3, about the pace of development with blockchain technology. And interestingly, I just came from India last week, and I was surprised by how things developed there. But if we take a look at what's going on in Thailand, it was only a year ago today when Carl and I met with many people at the Bank of Thailand, and we were just introducing blockchain. In my address today, I'm not going to spend much time talking about blockchain technology, although 2 years ago, as a matter of fact, I only have one slide on it. 2 years ago, that's all we talked about because we had to convince people that there was real benefit in blockchain. That's now universally accepted. But when we look at what's going on here in Bangkok, from a year ago, when we first met with the Bank of Thailand today, we have the Inthanon project, which we're extremely excited about. We announced an MOU earlier this morning with our partners here. And we have 6 member banks in Thailand. So I'm very excited, and it gives me a reason to come back to Bangkok, and also potentially maybe to mix in a visit to some of my favorite islands like Phi Phi or Krabi, some of the most beautiful places in the world. Okay, so so I'm David Rutter, the founder of R3, and I've just been amazed at the opportunity we've been afforded and how quickly our business has grown. So what's it all about? Like I said, I only have one slide on blockchain. And as most of you know, to date, most of the discussion has been about efficiencies, and that's appropriate. It's where we should start. It's about streamlining business processes. As a matter of fact, reinventing business processes completely. And how do we do that? We do that by reducing the complexity, and we're moving from a disparate system in the past where each firm kept their own records and we had to pay third parties to validate the accuracy of those, adding to incredible costs and waste. So through the use of blockchain technologies, you can see there's many very beneficial elements to the marketplace, and some of the estimates in value are absolutely amazing. You see, Gartner estimates that the savings that blockchain could unlock are around 176 billion. Bain talks about in financial services alone, there's 35 billion. I'm often asked my opinion on that, and I never give it because there's plenty of analysis out there. But the savings are huge. But I think what is even more interesting is what new businesses can evolve from blockchain. You know, will we be able to bank the unbanked? Will we be able to provide services that we couldn't previously provide? And also there's an interesting confluence of technologies with the Internet of Things, with big data and cloud computing that I think are all going to come together to provide some amazing new business opportunities for all of us in the future. So let's just talk a little bit about R3. This is fun for me because it's a walk down memory lane. This all started in September of 2014 when I held a meeting with 8 different banks. What happened was I was a CEO of a couple large exchanges in FX, EBS, and BrokerTech. And I had left that after 10 years, and I was looking for the next new thing. And I was intrigued by Bitcoin and Ethereum, but I knew that they weren't right for financial services and what we were trying to resolve and solve for. So I also knew that it was a team sport. So I started with a group of banks. We met in September 2014. And then we had a number of other meetings leading up to 2015 where we proved that the technology had some real promise. And then September 2015 was a very big day for R3. We had 9 banks form an original partnership with R3. And at that same time, we launched our architectural working group, which was designed to look at existing technologies at the time, Ethereum and Bitcoin, and also consider whether we would design our new a new technology. being commercial, I didn't really care. I just wanted to make sure the solution was right. The result of that work in March and by December 2015, we had grown to 42. But by March of 2016, we made the decision to build Corda. And we did it in collaboration with the entire industry, and that's really paid benefits. In November 2016, almost 2 years ago, we open sourced the technology. So while we're a very young company, the technology has been in the open for 2 years. And many of you and many people around the world have had an opportunity to test it and to use it. And there's many exciting applications being built on it today. So fast forward to July of this year. It was a really big day in our history as well, which is when we released our enterprise version of our software. And the important thing is that's interoperable with our open source version, and also any Corda app that's built on the Corda network is interoperable with every other Corda app. So whether you're building something in Thailand or whether it's in the Nordics or in South Africa, they will all communicate and work together. And then by August of this year, our ecosystem had grown to over 200 financial institutions, regulators, trade associations, and the like. So let's talk a little bit about the ecosystem. We made a really important decision in January 2017, so that's a year and 3 quarters ago. At that time, we were like many other blockchain companies where we were providing a total solution, including building top-of-stack apps. But we had received such good feedback about our open source product from so many corners of the globe. As a small and young company, we knew we couldn't possibly service them directly. So we decided to never build a top-of-stack app. So we do not face the customer directly. We face the customer through our valued partners like IAM Consulting and TIS and many others, as you can see here. And this has been, I think, potentially one of the most powerful decisions we've made. And as a result, we have about 20 applications live. We have about 150 different Corda apps that we know of. One of the funnest parts of my job and the things I enjoy the most is finding about new applications being built on Corda. I made an announcement at CordaCon, which is our big annual event in London, about 2.5 weeks ago now, maybe 3 weeks ago, that Her Majesty's Land Registry in the UK had decided to register every single building in the UK on Corda. I had only found out about that a week before the event, and that development had been going on for over a year. So there's a lot of really exciting things going on. I'm just let this video play to tell you a little bit more about our product.
What do you call a web of contracts, recorded and managed in expensive, error-prone, duplicated legacy systems that nobody quite trusts and require constant maintenance? A modern business. Every company tracks its transactions and trading relationships using systems built over decades with different technologies. This fragmented record-keeping process can't even spell interoperability, let alone ensure that all sides of a contract see the same thing and are working off the same records. So information gets isolated, reconciling accounts takes all day, and scaling slows. The sand in the gears of commerce means that we often don't even try to exploit new opportunities because it's just all too hard. Think of the business that doesn't get done because you can't trust your systems enough to make quick decisions. What if businesses could carry out transactions based on one correct, current, consistent source of truth? Third-party sales see precise inventory. Money sent is immediately confirmed as received. Prices update dynamically, all at once, everywhere. Reconciliation and settlement are fast and frictionless. Out-of-reach business opportunities are now possible. Blockchain technology has brought this level of visibility to some niche areas, especially where there is no legacy technology. But with so much more at stake and drowning under decades of unmaintainable legacy computing infrastructure, many institutions have considered it a pipe dream. It's not. Corda is a revolutionary open source software platform, the only one designed for business. It was created by R3, working with over 200 of the world's largest firms with input from thousands of engineers. Building on the cutting-edge technology of Corda, we developed Corda Enterprise so even more businesses could benefit from all Corda has to offer. Corda Enterprise harnesses the key attributes of open source Corda, including privacy consensus and interoperability, and fine-tunes them for the enterprise market. Corda Enterprise is highly redundant. It works with the technology actually used by real-world businesses, such as commercial databases. It has the world's first blockchain application firewall, secure by design for deployment in the enterprise. Releases arrive on schedule, and support is available around the clock. In other words, it's ready for every business. Financial services, supply chain, healthcare, manufacturing, trade finance, insurance, and many other industries are already building applications on Corda. A new day has arrived for businesses everywhere. Let's make the most of it together. Learn more at r3.com.
Okay, it strikes me that we probably should have had Thai subtitles there. It's very, very fast in English, so I hope you got the gist. I think the important thing is that it's really about, forget all this stuff, but people try to complicate blockchain. Really, it's about using this new technology for industries to come together to bring efficiencies, because we can now share records in a way that we could never in the past, and make sure that our data is held in a private and confidential manner, and make sure, if you just think about a quick trade example, you know, the manufacturer produces some documents, they pass it to the trucker who takes it to the port. All this paper can be manipulated, lost, altered, and blockchain changes all of that. I have to keep going here because I don't want to cut into my man Carl Wegner's time. So what's next for us? Okay, so one of the things that we also realize is that there's going to be solutions built all around the world, and the trade is trade and trade finance, or supply chain and trade finance, is very in this part of the world is a very important topic, and we're going to have Henry up here talking about it later today, and I think we have about 20 different applications being built, and we think it's very important that they can talk to each other. So this is a little slide. You know, it's one thing you're taught about sales is when you want to make a point, you show it again and again and again. And I think two of my colleagues have this exact same slide. But the point is that in the design of Corda, we actually were inspired by Bitcoin and Ethereum, even slightly inspired by IBM's Fabric, which was called Open Chain at that time, in order to come up with the design. And we think that the right vision is around global interoperable network. You get that with the Corda network, and you're going to be hearing a lot more about the Corda network going forward. And also, our design was very different. All other public blockchains, including there's really one other enterprise blockchain now that works for business, and that is IBM's Fabric. But it, like Ethereum and Bitcoin, were built on the public blockchain concept that all data is shared with all parties. From the very start, Corda was designed to just share your data with those that need to see it. And that's a very, very important attribute that sets us apart. It's the right design for the privacy and scalability with Corda. So the next thing I want to show is a very brief marketplace video. Okay, guys, I really recommend that everybody pay the marketplace a visit. So what is the marketplace about? So we talked about how we got here. From the start, we worked collaboratively with the industry to design a blockchain for business. Then we opened it up, and we worked with a group of partners to make sure that we could build applications that work in local markets across the globe. Then we focused on the Corda network to make sure that all of our applications are interoperable, just like the internet today, which all brings benefits to you and to your businesses. And then what Marketplace is about is that we have this massive community, and we want to share what everybody in the Corda community is doing. So Marketplace is a place to go where you can look at the Corda apps that are being built and can inspire some thinking about what might apply to your business. I believe we're still loading up the applications as they come online, but I think there's about 70 different applications in there now. I talked about the land registry product. There's stuff on mortgages, the tokenization of securities, a lot on KYC, a lot of stuff on trade. And you can go into the marketplace, take a look at the app. Often there's little videos and a description as to what that application does. And it gives you a chance to really dive into and enjoy the R3 experience. And we hope you all become part of the R3 family. Now, the future of Marketplace is eventually you'll be able to go on to those applications and actually download them onto your Corda node, your test node, and give them a try. And like I said, it's really about inspiring you to think about how to build your own applications. There's also law firms and consultants and other firms up there that can help you get the business done. So I've used up my time, but I want to leave you with one thought. I'm often asked how would I describe success in 5 years from now if R3 is really successful, which, by the way, I'm completely flattered and amazed at how far we've come in just a few years. But I think that success would be defined as the Corda blockchain being almost everywhere and no one knowing it, okay? Because we sit in the background. We're that operating system, that middleware that empowers all of our partners to provide solutions for you. So let's see where it goes. I can't wait to come back and visit you again. And if we make as much progress in the next year as we did in the last, I'm going to need a lot longer time slot because I'm going to have a lot to talk about. But thank you all very much. I very much appreciate the chance to address you today. Thank you.
Thank you so much.